Alright, so here we have him in the BBTS collector box, which I've already opened, which is why the flaps are open. Typically this comes sealed. You guys know that from all the other videos, but in case you're new, this is how it comes if you get the collector box, which is a couple of bucks more than the actual price. Always a good thing if you're a collector. But we're getting here, and as usual, you get the actual figure wrapped in plastic. This cardboard box is not something BBTS does. The outer box, yes, but this one is actually in this box because it's a an exclusive, I guess. I believe these are the web exclusives. I might be wrong, but typically they come in this this brown box. You can definitely get this guy over at BBTS. But this is a box. This is the plastic, and it usually has 2 pieces of tape here, which, like I said, I've already opened this to check them out beforehand. And we're going to get in here, pull this out. Alright, and this is Dai Tetsujin out of the box, Daitetujin 1.8 to be exact. It's a nice box, just like the 1.7. I'll let you get a glance at that here before we get inside the box. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get this guy opened up and then do a comparison with 1.7. Inside, Bandai has decided to get rid of the styrofoam, which is not really a new thing. They've kind of been doing it on the smaller figures, but I can understand. But there's always been that magic of opening something with a styrofoam enclosure, but it is what it is. And you also get the little booklet here. Booklets are just one color thing. I miss the Chogokin magazine looking things. I guess it's because it's a smaller figure. It is part of the GX line, so I mean they should kind of try to stay within the same thing, but for some reason they decide to do these once in a while in the plastic clamshell cases. But it's a typical clamshell case. Figure is nicely held in there. You got all the accessories, which we'll check out. So I'm going to take this guy out. I'm also going to take out Daitetujin 1.7. That way we can take a look at both. Alright, when you can see them side by side here, you can see they're pretty much the same height. But if we take a look at the Mecha Wiki here, which is over at mmecha.fandom.com, which is where I'm getting some of this info from, the 1.7 is said here to be 50 meters and weigh 200 tons, and the 1.8 is actually referred to as 17 or 1.7's little brother, but he weighs in at 210 tons, so technically more, and also a tad higher. Don't see that here with the figures. It almost feels like, at least from my angle, that this is probably even, but whatever. That's just what it says. Now, when it comes to weight, not only in the series but also in real life here with the figures, a lot of people have made comments, which is what I meant with the controversial thing. It's really not controversy, it's just opinions. People don't like it because of how light it is. So there's an explanation. So first of all, we'll refer back to the paper, right? The little instructions. Look at the difference between 1.7's, which is like the little magazine one, and then this one. So we'll take a look also at the designation. It's GX-101X. So that X, I believe, just stands for like an accessory to the GX-101, which is the 1.7. Okay, so what does that mean? This is technically not a standalone figure, even though it is, but it's kind of considered to be an accessory to this guy, which means that they, even though it's beautiful, they didn't really go crazy on any diecast. Honestly, the diecast that I see is only in the feet. You know, in comparison, this has a little bit more diecast everywhere else, and it's much heavier. Having said that, I do want to weigh these just so you can see the difference. But before we do that, guys, I want to get into something. You can feel free to skip ahead a few seconds. But if you're enjoying the videos, guys, you'll see they're very few and far between. So if you want to support the Patreon to keep this channel going, you can go ahead. Links are down in the description below. You can also just like and share the videos. I do have a Facebook where I, just post diddlings here and there. But yeah, you can check that out. Or just keep watching, subscribe. That's enough to keep me happy here. And obviously get to share these wonderful figures with you. So anyway, let's go ahead and weigh these guys. Alright, so I got my trusty scale here, which was made possible by our Patreon supporters. So thank you guys, to everybody who's contributing and has contributed in the past for us to be able to use this in the video. So we're going to place 1.8 here, and you can see he's a little less than half a pound, and we'll do grams also here. It's 215 grams. Alright, so we're going to look at 1.7 now. Get that back at 0. Put this guy on there. You can see he's pretty much twice the weight. Okay, and then let's put it in grams here. 419 grams. We're going to get into the articulation and all the features in just a moment, but I do want to stress something I really don't do much or haven't done in the past is really take a look at these instruction sheets, which is why sometimes I miss out on some of the features and you guys have to comment below. So it's always a good thing to take a look. Thankfully this one is a very short one-page thing. First of all, they just give you a breakdown of the hands that are available in this set, the accessories, how to attach them, how to open the features, how to make some adjustments for more articulation, also some warning points so that you don't rub off any paint, because as you can see, the paint is beautiful on this robot, on this figure. And again, here it warns you, and then it just shows you how to use the other accessories. It's in Japanese, but it's pretty straightforward. You can always use Google Translate. Go ahead and move on and look at the accessories here. We got the electromagnetic filter, which is like a crown of thorns, except the thorns are facing the other way. Well, at least some of them are. There's a couple in here, but that's really just to hold it on the figure. You also get some nicely sculpted hands with ribbing on the fingers. And then we get the flight unit. You get the standard flight unit, and then you get the extended version. And I gotta say, the paint on this is so, like, it's so fine. The fine metallic, you know, whatever you call them, the little dusting or whatever, the little flakes they put in the paint are very, very fine. It makes this look very nice and metallic. It almost looks like it's metal, which is kind of cool. Now we're going to take a look at the electromagnetic filter, which is actually not used on this figure, even though you can actually set it on his head and it stays on pretty well. But it wasn't actually designed for him. We're going to go back and get 1.7 over here. And what you want to do is make sure that these little nubs are kind of like in a triangle shape, face them back, and you pop it this way. Pop it on that way. And then he's got the electromagnetic filter on his head. So as far as the flight unit, it just goes right back here. It's keyed, so you can't put it upside down. Little tab right there is also keyed, and it goes in very smoothly, no forcing. It still has a good amount of friction. I love the way that went in. A lot of times you got to really push these in, and they're hard to take out. I like the fact that the nub is not painted. It's just raw plastic, which is why it's so nice. If it was painted, it would be a little harder to get in there. And then we'll put it with the extended piece there so you can see what it looks like. Very nice. But for the sake of the rest of the review, let's get the smaller one on so I don't end up snapping the wing, even though it is nice plastic. But we also got the hands I was showing you. Okay, so you can swap those for these, and they're on standard ball joints. Again, it seems like the taking off of the fists and stuff seem to be a little easier than previous figures that I've had on the Soul of Chogokin line without doing excessive force. Now the first point of articulation, or really just feature, not articulation, but this part of the video is regarding articulation. Anyway, no need to explain that much, but the little doors that open, you want to make sure that they don't really hit the shoulder pads. It's one of those points on the instructions that tell you to be careful, because it will touch and it can cause rubbing off of the paint. And inside you can see some really nicely detailed I guess barrels for his weapons. And I like how the way it's painted red inside, really nice. Check out the detailing on his waist here, which is pretty cool too. Matter of fact, let's just get a look at his face. Pretty straightforward. Now let's take a look at the head articulation. It does pop up a little bit. I don't know if I'm just pulling out of the ball joint, but it pretty much moves, and he's got these little, I don't know, things, beard, something on there that's kind of hits there. So you really can't do much, and obviously the head rotates. It'll just spin around if you wanted to. And then you got the little shoulder pads, which are nice. You can see some more detailing here of the shoulder. the shoulders go out, and it's very nice to see some clicking. They really only go up to here because that little armor plate does hit there. They're obviously going to go forward. They also have ratchets, which is a nice surprise in this figure, because I thought because he's more of an accessory type edition that it wouldn't do that, but thank you Bandai for doing that. Then you got the elbows, and you'll notice the elbows also hit here, so be careful. But you do get some extension here, so you can bring them at a nice angle, a nice right angle there. And you also have rotation of the elbow here. And then a little bit of movement on the hands here, obviously just a little ball joint there. The waist, oh, the waist is also ratcheted, that's nice. And it does have abs. I was going to say it probably doesn't have abs, but it does. Not much, but it does. And then we get here to the legs. They go forward. Clicky too, really. So you can see I didn't do too much with this figure. I'd like to kind of figure out what's going on as I do the review, so you guys can see my reaction. It's not the hugest reaction ever, because I am used to these, but very impressed that they did ratchets there. But these legs do go down, so you can see that there. I'm just a little disappointed that those joints are not metal, but again, this one wasn't really meant to have a lot of metal. But typically any kind of slide down joints here have been made out of metal, so just be careful. But it's a nice metallic plastic, and that's what worries me. Like, usually the metallic looking plastics tend to be the weakest after some time, so just be careful. Oh, I didn't show you the extended version here. How far you can put the leg and how far back. Pretty much about that far back, not too much more. You got the knees also ratcheted. This guy's just full of ratchets, guys, if I haven't already said that. Beautiful. And check this out. Not only does his knee ratchet there, it also ratchets on the top. So it's got a double jointed knee, and it's got this great little accordion kind of looking knee there. Do you have to be careful which ones you do first? It doesn't seem to hit here, but sometimes when they do the double joint, sometimes it hit. This doesn't seem to be the case in this one. And then you got the ankles. The ankles are nice and stiff, which I like, and this is nice and cold and heavy. And then the little detail on the bottom of the foot. Now for size comparison, I do want to use something you guys, most of you guys probably already have if you're Chogokin collectors, and that's this beautiful. And if you don't, just trust me, buy it. But here he is next to Die Rugger, or Vehicle Voltron, however you want to call him, which, grabbing him just now off my shelf, it's just amazing. It's like you tend to forget how amazing they are till you have to handle them again. But as you can see, they're both from the same line. Okay, so I don't know how they decide how they do the sizing. I mean, this guy's not supposed to be like super huge compared to Vehicle Voltron, so I guess it's more of a scaling thing. But sometimes I like to see some of the bots, because they don't really scale with each other. None of these do. But, you know, so it doesn't really matter what size they make this guy, because he's not meant to scale with him anyway. But it would have been nice to have this guy be a little bit bigger, just have a big, hefty kind of figure. But whatever, we got what we got, and it's not bad. It displays well with the 1.7. Guys, and that's pretty much it. And I've been gone a long time, and I come back with a short video, but there really isn't much more to talk about with this guy. It's very simple, but very effective piece of Bandai Chogokin goodness. Again, guys, if you want to keep this channel going, I do. Support the Patreon, or even the free way. Just, you know, like and subscribe, show your friends, you know, check out other videos, and most importantly, guys, please use the link in the descriptions below. Even if you're not buying anything in this video, if you use the links and you end up buying something, it really, really helps this video, or this channel, I should say, but even this video. And yeah, that's it, guys. If you have any questions or comments, you can also always leave them down there below, and I'll try to answer them anytime I can. And that's it. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.